Alright, so I was recording and didn't realize the SD card was full, so I don't know where it cut off at. I'll figure that out in editing. But what I did was I took these stop bolts out, so now the gantry can travel all the way back, get about an inch more of travel, which is really good. I might be able to get away with not needing the pneumatic extend and retract tool holder. So I'm going to start by first flopping these linear bearings over so I can have access to the oil ports, and then I'll put that all back together. I'm going to get the drop plate mounted and the spindle holder mounted and do all my measurements and then plan from there. And then I got to put the rack and pinion back together, put the gearboxes back together, adjust everything, and then yeah, get my homing switches in the back instead of the front. And we're pretty good on the gantry. Yeah, I think I mentioned about the tramming. I'm going to take care of that when I put the drop plate on and the spindle on. So let's get to it. It looks like when the Z is all the way up, I've got enough clearance here. That hose will run probably out this way and plug right into the drop plate. Let's see what that'll look like. Right there. Yeah. Cool. Alright, so I've got this all measured up. Looks like our hole pattern that we're going to be using is 5.5 by 1.5 and this is 5.8 by 3. So it's just barely larger than the pattern, lengthwise at least. So I'm going to go template this out so I can drill this and get that mounted on there. I think what I may end up doing is maybe this bottom hole, I'll drill this hole bigger, and I need to find like an eccentric cam or nut or something, and I'll put that here, kind of like what Avid does with their tramming plate, and that will allow me to kind of make micro adjustments this way so I can tram the spindle. So that's the plan. This eccentric thing might not happen right away because obviously I don't have that hardware, and I keep looking around the shop and I still don't have a mill or a lathe, so I can't make one. If it is in here, I haven't found it yet. gears for to sticker. Should fit perfectly. Alright, now I know where to drill. Don't have much meat left on the bone there. Nope. Cool. Okay, well, this is where I ran into my first problem. I left my drill press on the floor, and I just had surgery 2 days ago, so I can't lift that up right now. So I'm going to move on to working on the Y-axis rack and pinion system, and you'll see that in the next shot. But yeah, that's why I kind of just dropped what I was doing with the Z-axis and switched gears. No pun intended. So as I'm putting the gearboxes together, I did have the thought of eliminating these nylon gears and just going with like a planetary gearbox on the stepper and doing basically a direct connect down there, stepper or planetary gearbox and then stepper instead of this nylon gear reduction stuff. But I'm going to use what I got for now, and hopefully it's good enough. So this kind of lets us play with thread or tooth engagement, lash. So I think I'll just kind of get it to a spot that feels good and crank her down. Alright, these things are terrible. None of the holes are drilled straight, so the screws go in sideways, but there's no play, there's no looseness, so it feels alright. Should be okay. Wasn't even recording. So what I did was I loosened these rails and then stuck the jack underneath it, that piece of wood. Just kind of pushed them up just a little bit and tightened it down. Now feels pretty good. There's a little bit of lash in the gear right there. So I think these rack and pinion's garbage. Probably need a spiral system. So if I do upgrade to the planetary gearbox, I'll probably swap out to a spiral rack and pinion. At that point, I really need to second guess what I'm doing here with this whole machine. Is it even worth it? I'm starting to wonder if I should cut my losses and move on to something that's already decent frame and just do the electronics in it. I don't know, man. This is a lot of work. I hope it runs fine. I really do. All right, I got both sides on, and they seem to be pretty smooth. That one's a little noisy over there still, but it should be fine. I think that's all I got in me for the night. Pick this back up in the morning. Alright, I got everything hooked back up. I changed my fast jog to 300 millimeters per second. Inches per minute? They're faster. Alright, so I don't have that eccentric bolt yet. Haven't ordered it, which is why I don't have it. Can't have it unless I order it. So what I'm going to do for now is use this as a pry point and just kind of lift up on this side until they're both close. Sort of like that. And like maybe a thou off right now. Of course, if I push down on this table, it all moves. So that's no good. Really? I didn't realize there's that much deflection there. Alright, so I think that's good enough for now. Let's look at it this way. This way, we are off still. Okay, let's take a look from this side. Let's see how far off we are. Not very. Probably like, what, 4 thousandths? But the thing is how far off are we this way? 10 thousandths. So we know are we still good here? Yep, we're still good there. I'm going to call that good for now. Like I said, as soon as I put the spoil board on and flatten it, that'll make this a little bit more accurate. So I'm going to lock this down and start on the pneumatics, I guess. Alright, so now the question in all our minds, right, is am I going to have enough room in the back to put a tool rack without having to do extending and retracting toolbar? Let us find out. I think I went back too far. Yep, too far back. Which means we come right in the center of that, right? Probably have a toolbar right there. Start it there, put the tools there, and still have enough. Now I know the sheet goods I get are an inch oversized, so they're 97. So they'll hang out the front a little bit. I've got enough, looks like about a ½ inch on the back end, because you know the edges are not perfect. Okay, yeah, I think we're good. We're good. Alright, more parts arrived. Got the manifold tap and drill that I needed, and some 6mm air hose. 6? Yeah, 6. Alright, this manifold is gonna go I was looking at those fittings. I'm going to have to get a reducer. This will go right there-ish. More mounting holes to worry about. That would be awesome if those existing holes lined up, but they don't, of course. Those two might. Nope, they're off. Alright, so I need more. Tap and drill and tap more holes. Test for air leaks. What do I have going on here? I have none of this stuff hooked up on the spindle. Alright, got our air. It's going to be coming in. I'm going to set my pressure to 50 psi coming off the air compressor, because I don't know what this is set at yet. It's going to come in here. It's going to split 3 ways. It's going to feed this manifold and then these 2 pressure regulators, which feed 4 ports on the spindle. Now I think if I hook this up, nothing should leak. And it doesn't. Oh. Well, let's adjust this pressure regulator. Oh. Yeah. That makes sense. I need to plug that up. Duh. I'm not using this one yet. So let's just go like that. Is that supposed to leak through there? Or is that leaking out of the this fitting here? Let's now I can plug them. I have one-way check valves. There's one. Two. Alright, so if my theory is right, this should work. Maybe? It would help if I knew what I was doing. But this is how I learn. I'm losing air everywhere. I'm losing air out the sides of these. Okay, so they didn't seal very well, apparently. Alright, attempt number 3. Okay, there's 50 psi. Got a little leak here still. It's hard to tell where it's coming from. This seems loose. A little air coming from these vents here. Okay, there's the manual. Dusting our think those need to go through valves. Yep. So the diagram that I got with the spindle says out from the pressure regulator, in between put one of these, and there was legit a picture of one of these in their diagram on each side. I'm not sure that's correct. I think I need a block of 4 of these, which means I got some more stuff to order. But that's, and we grab this. Oh, but wait, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the collet, because the collet's not in there. So now let's open these. Yeah, still blowing air. Collet's definitely in there. How about the air seal? It's still doing something. Okay, we know that works. Okay, so through the power of creative editing, also known as not recording what I was doing, I made some progress. Had to change a few things because the instructions that I got from the vendor were all wrong as well. For instance, on the spindle there's an air in and an air out, and they note it twice in 2 different documents to hook the air in to port A and the air out to port B. When you do that, that causes the clamps inside the spindle to be forever open, and your collet just kind of falls out. So that's probably not good. So I flipped those around. Air out is on port A, air in is on port B. Let's see what else. They also say to put a valve in between the this pressure regulator and the deduster. I'm not doing that. I'm actually using my air out, or in rather. So basically what this does is when you release the collet from the spindle, it's going to release the jaws. The collet will come out, and then the deduster at the same time, because it's off the same air supply, will fire, and air will come out and get dust off of the collet. And that's also true for when it goes over to pick up the new one. It's dedusting, so any chips or anything that might be on the collet are going to get blown off, or the tool holder. So that's a change. So I put this little Y here. So this is feeding the open pneumatics thingy inside the spindle, and then the other one is feeding the deduster. Now everything's got air pressure right now. So if I were to, we have a tool holder in the spindle. Now I'm going to push this button see if I can get everything in frame. I'm going to push this button. That releases it. And you hear that. That's the air coming out, the dedusting. Let's see. I think I need a little bit more PSI. So this is my main regulator, and we need to turn this up to about there. Okay, so if I push that, turning my dedusting down to about 40 psi. And then so when I put this in and release, it's got solid hold on my tool. So that's good. The only thing I don't have on right now is the air seal. I can turn up the pressure on that a little bit. So it's my understanding that this is always going to be leaking some air, and what that's doing is providing an air curtain. So that air doesn't get into or dust doesn't get into the bearings. That's my understanding. I think that's correct. Anybody who knows, if I'm wrong, please let me know. But what I need to do, because I don't want that to sit there and leak air this whole time, what I need to do is on my air supply side, this side, this is my air in, my air out. I'm going to put a one-way valve, or just a single action valve, that will turn air on as soon as I start the machine. Either as soon as the spindle turns on or start the machine. I haven't decided yet, but air is going to be off until it's needed. And if you're curious on how all of this works, I'll give you a run through one more time. So this solenoid, so I'm just pressing it manually right here, is going to get actuated by a 24 volt relay. That goes up there. That goes on there. And when that fires, it's going to send air pressure here. And that's going to dedust and release the jaws, like I said earlier, and release the tool holder. And when I let go, it's going to close this and then send air here, which then forces that tool holder to come up and grab, or the little knives to grab the tip of the tool holder. All right, follow me so far. So we have air in coming from the main regulator. We have air out going into the air seal. This regulator is set for a very low PSI. So this is running through here, up through here. We have already talked about our in and out for the spindle, and then our deduster. So I'm going to probably shorten up this hose. And then there's a couple crazy things like why are these just hanging out here doing nothing? Well, that's because I need to get some plugs for these holes until I'm ready to use this relay. And then this guy on top, up there, yep, you can see it. I need to plug that with an actual plug. I didn't need 4 ports, I just only needed 3, because I had split this twice, not 3 times. So a little bit of change in design there. Then if we swing over here, We've got our signal wires, so that basically tells you the state of the little clamps. They call them knives, I think that's right. Whether they're open or closed, or if there's a problem, so that you can stop operation until it's fixed. So these are going to run up through here. Spindle power is going to run up through here. I'm probably going to secure this up top a little bit better, but this was kind of fun making this, and yeah, that's kind of it for now. I think I'll do more over the weekend. I'm still waiting for some parts. I'm waiting for a new spindle power wire, because the one I originally had was like 12 gauge or 14 gauge, way too thick for this. So I've got some extra parts coming, another valve coming. Then I'll wire everything up, hook it all up to the Acorn, get that all programmed. And like I had mentioned before, I am really just going to be doing manual automatic tool changes at first. I think what I want to do for the rack in the back, or at least the tool holders, is I'm pretty sure these are out. I'm not going to use them. Main reason is, if you look, well, just take my word for it, I would have to take the dust boot off of the spindle in order for it to, and really it's got to go in this way, in order for it to come in and grab the tool holder and then lift off. And I mentioned this before, I want to make something a little bit more automatic, where the dust boot is on a cylinder and it drops down, comes up. If I do that, then I can do this, or I'm going to do like a pedestal type thing, where, you know, it's just a column and then the tool holder gets dropped into it and then it picks it up. I think that way I can just get right on top of it with the dust boot on and go pick it up. I haven't fully decided what I want to do with that yet, but making a little bit of progress. This is a mess. I just cleaned this up not too long ago and it's a mess already, but that's part of the project. Well, thanks for watching. I think that's it for now. I probably talked too much, rambled too much, and thanks. Whatever. Thanks for watching. Alright, well, I think that's it for now. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.